Hello everyone, in this video I would like to present and reflect on an academic article that I wrote. The title is Students' Perspective on the Importance of Critical Thinking in Writing, a Quantitative Study of EFL Learners. The purpose of this presentation is to explain why this article was written, what the most important findings were, and what reflections and further questions after completing the research. This topic is particularly relevant for students and teachers in the field of English as a foreign language or EFL, especially in academic writing contexts. Alright, first I would like to explain why I wrote this article. I chose to write this article because I was interested in exploring a common issues faced by EFL students. In many academic writing classes, students are often expected to write essays that are logical, well-structured, and supported by evidence. However, in reality, many students struggle to meet these expectations. From my observations and academic experience, I noticed that students are frequently told to think critically, but they are not always given clear guidance on how to apply critical thinking in writing. This raises an important question for me. How do EFL students actually perceive critical thinking, and how do they experience it when writing academic texts? Alright, therefore I decided to write this article to investigate students' awareness, applications, difficulties, perceived benefits of critical thinking in writing. By focusing on students' perspective, I hope this study could provide insight that are useful not only for students but also for teachers and curriculum designer in EFL writing instructions. Alright, next part is research overview. This study used a quantitative descriptive research design. These participants were 45 EFL students from an English education study program at a university in Indonesia. All participants had taken at least one academic writing course, which ensured that they had experience with academic writing texts. The participant is actually from Universitas Maritim Raja Ali Haji in 3rd until 5th semester. The main instrument used in this research was a questionnaire designed to measure student perceptions of critical thinking and writing. The data were then analyzed using descriptive statistics such as mean scores to describe general tendencies in student responses. The questionnaire focused on four main aspects. The first is student awareness of critical thinking. The second is their applications of critical thinking in writing. And the third is difficulties in applying critical thinking. And the fourth is perceived benefits of critical thinking in writing. And now I would like to explain about the most important findings on this article. One of the most important things I learned from writing this article is that there is a gap between students' understanding of critical thinking and their ability to apply it in writing. First, the finding shows that students had high awareness of critical thinking with a mean score of 3.77. This indicates that most students understand that good academic writing requires more than correct grammar. They realize that writing also includes analyzing ideas, organizing arguments, and supporting claims with evidence. And also the second is students' applications of critical thinking also receive a positive score. With a mean of 3.72, this suggests that students do try to apply critical thinking strategies such as planning their writing, evaluating sources, and considering different viewpoints. However, the third findings reveal something very important. Students report moderate difficulties in applying critical thinking with a mean score of 3.37. Many students struggle to balance critical analysis and language accuracy. Some felt uncertain when expressing complex ideas in English, and others found it challenging to evaluate arguments critically using a foreign language. Despite these challenges, students strongly acknowledge the benefits of critical thinking, which received the highest mean score of 3.86. They believe that critical thinking helped them to write more clearly, organize ideas better, develop stronger arguments, and feel more confident in expressing their opinions. And also we have reflections and additional talks. After completing this research, I began to reflect more deeply on the teaching and learning of academic writing. One important thought that came to mind is that critical thinking should not be treated as an abstract concept, but as a practical skill that needs to be taught explicitly. I started to question whether writing classes provide enough guidance practice for students to analyze text and also evaluate arguments and justify their ideas. Simply telling students to think critically is not enough if they are not shown how to do it step by step. And I also wonder how different teaching strategies such as peer review, collaborative writing, and problem based learning or PBL might help students develop critical thinking more effectively. This approach could encourage students to reflect, discuss, and evaluate ideas together rather than working in isolations. Another question that emerged was whether student English proficiency levels plays a major role in their ability to think critically in writing. Future research could explore whether language support and critical thinking instructions could be integrated more closely. Alright, we have an in conclusion, writing this article helped me understand that critical thinking is highly valued by EFL students, but it also challenging to apply in academic writing. Students recognize its importance and benefits, yet they still need structure support to use it effectively. This study suggests that teachers should integrate critical thinking instructions directly into writing activities through guided exercise, examples, and reflective tasks. By doing so, students can move beyond theoretical understanding and develop practical skills that improve both their writing quality and their academic thinking. Alright, that's all for me. Thank you very much for watching.